that suddenly I was like, everything's gone wrong. Also, I was getting other messages and stuff that were distracting me.
Yeah,
okay.
It's other people's fault. But we're live now. So, hello, greetings, everyone. Thank you so much for waiting patiently in chat. Patiently in quotes. This is a live news show. This is Awesome Friggin' Hardware, episode 157, the tech news show that Paul and I like to stream every single Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time.
We love to stream
in its entirety on twitch.tv/awesomehardware. Welcome, Twitch. Hope you're all well.
Hi, guys.
And hello to the YouTube crew who's watching right now on my channel. We like to break this show on YouTube up into two halves. So today, we're actually streaming on my channel first, and in about an hour or so, we'll switch over to Paul's channel. You can find a link to his stream in the description below. Thank you guys so much for being here. We like to have a few adult beverages on stream, just to loosen things up, keep it casual, and because beer's delicious. Today we're drinking Clown Shoes Chocolate Sombrero. It's amazing when you can find a Clown Shoes beer in a 6-pack of cans. It's just, wow. Welcome to 2018, people.
Looking forward to this.
Oh yeah, this is really good stuff.
If anyone's noticing the audio, I know it's not the greatest right now. Sorry about that. We have to have the AC on right now because it's the middle of summer and it's Southern California and it's hot outside.
It's hot as balls.
And we'd rather not die.
Really hot balls.
So apologies, but you can still hear us, right? Sure you can.
Sure.
Okay.
Speaking of balls, occasionally we'll say words that are even more offensive and abrasive than that, or lewd, or just plain downright
uncouth.
Downright uncouth. That sounds like a curse word right there.
Yes.
So just a warning: adult language does become part of the stream occasionally. So if you have little ones around, make sure that they're not listening, unless you're cool with that sort of thing. And that's, you're the parent. I'm not going to tell you how to do your job.
Yeah. It's your kid.
Whisper all the F words.
Man.
It's just a lullaby of. Just read him that Samuel L. Jackson book.
It's gonna hear him eventually.
Go the F to sleep. That's a classic. That's what I'm gonna read my kids when they're in existence.
Not familiar with that one actually.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
But cheers.
Cheers to all of you. Thank you so much for being here. And sorry we're late. We do this.
Fault.
We do the show as a team. But I gotta say that was Paul's fault.
But it's totally my fault this time.
This is all Paul. But you can buy stuff from our store.
Buy things.
If you're mad at us for being late, maybe if you give us money, you'll feel better.
But you get awesome merchandise in return for that money, don't you,
it's
Kyle?
an exchange. I feel like you guys are the real winners here. We just get money.
Exchanging currency for goods and services.
Money's lame, but you can't find this stuff anywhere else. You can only find my stuff on bitwit.tech. All right? Shirts, hoodies, bottle openers, desk mats, glasses. The whole shebang, people.
Everything you need to survive.
Yeah, just buy one of everything, and I will love you unconditionally, no one else.
You can also buy stuff from my store.
PaulsHardware.net.
Once you're done buying stuff from Kyle's store, PaulsHardware.net.
Also buy one of everything from his site.
Yep.
Or he'll cry.
It's all good things.
You don't want to see Paul cry. It's not pretty.
I recommend this bottle opener. Good for opening bottles.
It does what it says.
You could also cut someone.
Or you can take a picture of it.
Got him good. All right, sorry.
Cool. We'll yell Johnson at you at the end of the show, a little tradition that we like to do here. Some people find it offensive, which is why we keep doing it.
Thanks for the host, April Ultima.
Oh, thank you, April.
Yeah.
What a charmer, That's April.
Awesome.
Oh God, what's happening to my computer? Holy.
I don't know.
Yours is updating.
Both my laptop decided to do a Windows update,
and my browser
ideal time once again.
And my Chrome just decided to take a poop.
Yeah, that was odd.
Okay.
Media resource decoding error.
That sounds perfectly normal.
That's totally normal.
Okay.
So our first topic for today: Windows updates. Now at 42% completion. I've been advised not to turn off my PC because this will take a while. Kyle, your thoughts?
Paul, I think this has been a long time coming. We didn't really have any signs. There were no warning signs of this update happening. It would have been nice to sort of get a warning at first, or maybe even opt out of an update right now. It would have been great if you could just postpone that update. Where are these updates coming from? What do they want? Should we fear them?
Maybe they'll give us that information in a future update.
I would not be surprised at this point. But we also have other news articles to talk about.
Bit of breaking news, still at 42%.
Oh, it just jumped to 51.
Sorry, 51%.
We are now at 51, people.
Okay.
Oh, and then we went back down to 45.
What?
We are now unupdating.
That has never happened.
We are now unupdating. It legit just went from 51 to 45.
I've never seen it go backwards.
Neither have I.
Does that mean it's rolling back? Now we're at 46.
Your fake news story just became real news.
Your half of the show has been so packed with entertainment.
In the first 3 minutes. So worth the wait, guys. All right.
What are we talking about?
Let's dive into our first segment here.
Our first segment is
which is a sort of new segment.
Brand new segment.
That's like we've never even had a segment that's remotely close to this.
We've never talked about stories, anything like these stories that Cal's going to be talking about
absolutely.
here.
Because apparently there are these things called leaks.
Leaks.
And so we thought knowing what leaks are, would devote a whole segment to them.
Leak-based segment.
Leak-based. See? You can tell how familiarized we are with leaks by the graphics we put in our new lower thirds. So,
I really like the new lower thirds. Kyle put that together.
Why, thank you very much, Paul. This is what I do in my free time. That's some of my finest work, actually. And we're finally done with Windows updates, at least for the first round.
We'll see after this restart.
A splash screen. So this first article is from Video Cards. And in case you guys were honestly curious, this is about, like, actual leaks. Not the vegetable. Like scandalous, top secret Snowden leaks. Okay, glad we're clear.
I hope they understand.
I hope so. CPU-Z screenshots were leaked. Leaked! Maybe just one screenshot.
Leaked, I say.
Leaked. Of a Threadripper 2990WX.
What is that?
Interesting.
What is that?
I think this is the first time we've heard of that SKU here on the show, but it's reporting 32 cores and 64 threads, which we have heard in the past. Several rumors have tried to...
well, no, that's not a rumor. AMD has confirmed...
Oh, AMD. Okay, that's confirmed.
At Computex.
Okay.
That Threadripper 2 will feature a 32-core variant.
I knew it was confirmed to me, but I'm so paranoid
that is in the public
dropping something that's not. That's under NDA. Okay. All right. So we can confidently say that at least a 32-core and 64 thread makes sense. As far as the model number, we don't really know. That's all kind of leak and rumor based. It is running at 4.1 gigahertz, or at least it seems to be at this very moment the screenshot was taken. And this is in precision boost mode, so could very well just be one core that's showing a 4.1 gigahertz clock speed. We don't know what the W stands for. There doesn't seem to be much light shed on that point in this article. We do know that this was being tested on MSI's X399 MEG Creation, which is a new X399 motherboard, surely developed purely for this launch of second-gen Threadripper.
How do we know that?
It's just listed in the article. Apparently, this is just coming from the source who leaked this. So it's just as uncertain as the leak itself. But take it with a grain of salt, people. Any speculation as to what the W might stand for in WX, feel free to let us know. Please feel free to discuss in chat. We will be sure to...
2990WX.
2990WX.
Wix.
Oh, God. Wix has gotten a hold of AMD. Now AMD's even doing their crappy infomercials. Wanks. That's a whole different thing, Paul. That's a whole different segment entirely. That's a different show.
Chat suggesting...
It's a different channel.
Wookie. Watergate.
Wicked.
Watermelon.
Watermelon. Whiskey. I like that one.
Wyzen. The AMD Wyzen Threadripper WX.
Wyzen not.
Wyzen. Oh, look.
So many great theories in chat. I'm so glad I asked you guys to provide you. Oh, didn't you hear that the latest Windows update just disables every connected peripheral, and you have to use the Tobii eye tracking now for all of your desktop browsing needs.
Hands-free. That's the future.
Cursor's now controlled by your eyes.
All right.
So let's move on to the other leak here. Leak number 2 from Hot Hardware. This is also about second-gen Threadripper, but also includes the Intel Core i9 8-core CPU, known to us as the 9900K. There's a Cinebench throwdown leak here. So it's actually kind of comparing both second-gen Threadripper and a Core i9. Now, what's interesting here is that the model name, if you look in the Cinebench scores, Threadripper 2990X, there's no W. So if one of these are correct, well, it just shows that only one of these leaks can be correct. It's either 2990X or 2990WX, or it's a third option that isn't listed here, and they're both fake. We don't know. But it does confirm that this 2990 whatever is going to be a 32-core processor.
Thanks, Microsoft. I was hoping to have a Microsoft Edge link on my desktop.
Oh, Jesus. It just planted it there, didn't it?
Yeah. Not in the system tray, at least.
Okay. At any rate, some pretty impressive scores if this is all to be true. 6399 is the top score at 4.12 gigahertz on the 32-core Ryzen Threadripper processor. Interestingly, 4.2 gigahertz when it was running at that speed is actually returning the lowest score at 6109. Articles speculating that this could be due to some thermal throttling, maybe inadequate cooling, things of that nature, which makes perfect sense. We also have the 8-core 16-thread 9900K, or what we would assume would be the i9 9900K. Here it's listed as the CPU 0000, which is potentially indicative of an engineering sample that perhaps hasn't gotten the latest microcode update, and so it's just not being recognized by the software. That's perfectly reasonable explanation. At 2212, again, these are multi-threaded scores, so of course an 8-core CPU is not really going to compete much with a 32-core behemoth like the second gen Threadripper here. So, what else can we say? What else can we really say here?
Good question, Kyle.
Other than nothing. We will, all will be revealed, hopefully within a few weeks, maybe a month or so, both on the Team Red and Team Blue camps when they inevitably release these highly anticipated CPU families.
I thought at Computex that AMD said Threadripper 2 is coming in July or August. I thought it was one of those.
Okay, so yeah, it's very possible
my
that it's been pushed back.
My memory is kind of fuzzy, so I don't...
I would just assume a lot of the leak websites I've been reading is like, it's coming in August, it's coming. It seems like a lot of stuff's coming in August. Again, I haven't really heard anything straight from the horse's mouth, but we can always hope. It makes sense too. I feel like August is a very popular time for big launches like this because it's right before the huge holiday rush, things like Black Friday and Christmas, obviously. So yeah. It's a good guess, at the very least. But thank you, Hot Hardware, for that article. And let's talk about our final third leak for today, which is also from Hot Hardware. They were just hot with the leaks today. Pixel 3 XL. I know me and Paul are probably interested in this, maybe more than most, because we're both Pixel owners, and we are very happy with our Pixel experience thus far. This one is clearly leaking the clearly white model with 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage, as indicated by some of the details that you can see in the leaked pictures here. There's 2 pictures, one of the front screen and one of the back. From the front
screen looks all blurry and pixelated, Kyle. I think that's obviously a manufacturing defect.
This is definitely not a manufacturing defect, Paul. That is clearly someone who's blurred out the information there, because this is, after all, a leak. Hence the segment leaks. And we also have there's interesting something.
Great branding on that segment so far.
I know. I'm killing it right now. Yep. There is a display notch on the front of the phone. Sort of conforming to a lot of the other popular flagship phones, the iPhone X and others.
Not just stupid, I hate the notch.
I don't mind the notch. I think the notch is easy to hate because it's different and new and people hate change, but whatever.
You're a notch lover.
You notcher. And then we've got the bottom of the screen, which looks to be a bit more filled out. There's not as big of a bar. This is the Pixel 2 here. I can turn my phone on and make sure there's no super important information here. But there's
live demonstration.
There's definitely a big black bar at the bottom here that's just kind of got a speaker, and they've forgone that with more screen real estate, which I like. No obvious details on the screen resolution or anything, but it does look like it has a downwards firing speaker, or at least a bottom-mounted speaker. The notch. It's got dual-facing cameras.
This looks like a front-facing speaker.
It does look like a front-facing speaker.
I would prefer the front-facing speakers. I don't like the bottom firing. That's the one thing I don't like about the original Pixel XL, is the speakers on the bottom.
Yeah.
It works okay if you can cup it right and kind of
Sure.
deflect. So in specific scenarios, it's fine. But overall, I prefer the front-facing speakers. Ever since the HTC One, just the front-facing speakers have always made the most sense to me.
I actually don't mind either or. I feel like if you have the front-facing speakers,
You're a front.
it's going straight.
Front-facing.
It's going straight
fondler.
to your ears. But if it's a downward-firing speaker, I personally don't mind it because the way that I hold my phone usually causes the sound to sort of echo in my hand a little bit. Call me crazy, but it kind of just cupping the bottom a little bit kind of creates a more echoey effect, which you can't do on a front-facing speaker. And sometimes it can help project if you're showing a clip to some friends or something like that. But I think, Paul, the article says downward firing, so if they are right about that, then that could just be the microphone for when you're making phone calls. But I don't know.
This line right here looks to me like the
It looks exactly like this, right?
exactly like the speaker on yours,
Right.
and my wife's.
And so this, that must be the microphone on the bottom, most likely. Right.
I don't know about that.
But you bring up a good point because there's also no picture of the bottom of the phone. So how would the article author know that it was a downward firing speaker?
All the points I bring up are good.
Except that one.
You're right. I didn't respond to what you asked about at all.
No, but I mean, I think it's safe to say that this is all still up in the air because from the looks of these pictures, experts have weighed in and said this very much looks like a prototype. And these features could very well change. Nothing is set in stone at this point. This is just a really early, perhaps, prototype sample that we're getting images of now.
And all of this information was leaked.
On the leak segment.
On the leak segment. You heard it here first, unless you read any of these articles before you watched this. Thanks for watching Leaked.
Yeah.
You leakers. You leakers.
Have a leak on us. Have 3 leaks on us.
Exactly.
Have a long, hard leak. So, okay, good stuff about the Pixel. And the back of it, there's a camera. Cool.
Oh, is that? Sorry, was there anything else to?
The other thing is that there's a camera on the back as well, and a fingerprint scanner also in the middle on the back, which
It's revolutionary.
I like. And that's it. That's all for leaks.
All right.
You can expect the Pixel 3 to arrive and the Pixel 3 XL to arrive sometime in October of this year. Very exciting, and that is leaked. You have just been leaked on. That's the ending slogan. We're gonna end the show with.
And we just took
the
a
segment
leak.
with. And you've just
We just you've been leaked on. I guess that makes more sense. I mean, when you're trying to make something like that, it has to make some sense,
Right?
And we just took a leak on you. Probably.
And we just took a leak on you. That might be a little on the
It's
nose.
a little very too. Okay, sorry.
Or how about we start the segment by saying, "Take a leak on us," because we're giving them the leaks. Take a leak on us.
It's
on us.
All these are good ideas. I think
Oh yeah, we're still.
I think we should.
We're evolving.
It's constant evolution.
Growth is always.
Speaking of constant evolution,
We have
we're going to help
another-
people evolve their PCs into better-looking PCs in this segment that we just segued to brilliantly.
PC. No.
Oh wait, no, this is a new segment.
It is a new segment.
Wait, I thought you were doing both.
No.
No, you're not doing both.
I said
Okay.
I was only doing
This
one.
is a new segment.
This is kind of like okay.
Then my
Do you have the lower thirds all set up?
my segue
Your
doesn't even
segue's
work.
tarnished.
Shit.
It was so close.
I
Because at first, when you said we're going to help your PCs look better, I was like, well, not quite look better.
Because I
It could look-
read Pimp My PC, I didn't realize this. All right, so
You
sorry.
got to read the whole thing. Today's other new
I
segment.
apologize for the terrible segue.
I'll give you a web redemption right here.
Okay.
You can try a new one.
Apologies. My segue was poorly timed, misconstrued.
We
and
just lost 500 viewers.
really we need to transition.
Christ.
We're going to
Oh.
gracefully transition though from this segue apology into a brand new segment that Kyle came up with. Actually, a pretty damn good idea.
Which is like a simple idea that I'm surprised we didn't think of sooner.
Simple idea. I think we didn't think of sooner. So you've all seen Pimp My PC, where people send in pictures and we critique them and tell them how to make them look prettier. It's a very good segment. This segment is Pimp My PC part picker list. Wait, we have a lower third.
It sure is, Paul.
Yes, there it is. So here we're going to take prospective PCs, not to be too alliterative, but that people maybe are considering buying. So people are going to send us the PC part picker list of a PC that they're maybe about to build, about to drop the hammer, drop the dime,
Pull the trigger
out, spend the cash, check out.
Choke the chicken? No. Something else entirely.
Yes, invest money in. Anyway, so we're going to take a look at your PC part picker list and we're going to tell you if they're good or not.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That was a good recovery from your appalling segue initially.
Thank you for that pun. That was good. That's
Apology accepted.
damn it, guys.
Okay. I was sitting on that one for a while. It's like, I'm gonna strike. Okay.
It's like, how can I make your name into a pun?
You can't.
Damn it!
It's my name's
Kyle.
unpunnable.
I'll think of something. You give me time. All right, Mike Gevers sent this
All right.
one over first.
Come on, Mike.
Did you vet these, Kyle? Are these?
I did vet them briefly.
All right.
I also linked to their tweet because sometimes they have interesting information, relevant information.
Okay.
He says he's planning to reuse power supply and GPU,
All right.
and he recently found great deals on an R7 1700 at the same price as a R5 2600X, and Samsung 960 EVO 240 gig drive. I also have some hard drives lying around, which will add up to about 1.5 terabytes.
Groovy. All right, so we're looking at about $1,100 overall cost here.
Okay.
So he's looking at an 8-core 1700, but he's saying for same price, about the same price. He's looking at
a 2500X.
a 2700,
2600X. Sorry.
2600X.
Right.
Okay, cool. Which is, wait, is the 2600X 8-core still?
No,
It's not.
it's 6 cores. It's a 1600 successor.
Found some great deals on the R7 1700. All right, so he's planning to get the 1700.
Correct.
All right, so sorry, just clarifying that.
Yeah.
So go with the 8-core. If you're considering, if you're on the fence between the 6-core and the 8-core, go with the 8-core.
Right.
We got a B450 motherboard. These just launched today.
They sure did.
Way to go, PC Part Picker being on top of that. Vulkan, Team Vulkan, I believe this is Ryzen compatible, DDR4 3000.
Yeah.
It's good speed. 240 gig SSD, 250 gig SSD, GTX 1066 gig, and a Eurasian Tech case. I'm not familiar with this case, but I don't like to critique a case that I haven't used. Any comments on the case, Kyle?
I haven't worked with many Eurasian Tech cases.
Okay.
I feel like they're a good budget option, but they are budget.
And
At least some of them.
But I
It's
think
an
they have some
$80
higher end ones as well.
They do have some higher end ones, but I'm not sure about their budget cases, really.
And the
I can't
650 watt power supply that he says he already has. So the only thing I'm looking at here is for a $1,100 piece PC. We got a
Graphics card.
GTX 1066 gig. This is an expensive GTX 1066 gig. I feel like for
Yeah.
$340.
Right. You
I
could get
feel
a
like you
GTX
can get them
1070.
in the $250 to $300 range.
A 1070 would only cost you maybe $60 more.
Yeah, or
if you look hard
that's probably a better bet. Is maybe looking at spending just a smidge more.
Yeah.
Crank it up to about $400 spend on that graphics card, and maybe upgrade to a 1070. Other than that, I think you have a very nice assortment of parts here.
Question: why the two SSDs?
I
They're
don't
both
know.
240, 50 gig. I would think you'd only need one of them for a boot drive.
Well, we got an
What are you
NVMe. We've got an NVMe drive here.
Stick with that one. Ditch the mush.
The 960 Evo. These are about the same price, which is interesting.
Yeah, huh?
Get two of these. Like,
If you
know,
have to
yeah.
have two of them,
If you-
but why?
if you can fit
Why would
two
you?
on this
Why would you
motherboard,
need a single 250-ish gig SSD if not for a boot drive?
Look, we've got dual
Maybe
M.2 on the motherboard. Get two M.2s rather than the. I don't know. He said he has some additional storage lying around, but
Yeah, he's going to include the hard drives later that he's already got.
yeah. But for this price, I would.
I just don't know why
all right,
there's two of them.
all right. Here's another thing. This is a 240 gig SSD for $105. You can get a 240 gig SSD for $55 right now. This is very overpriced.
Yeah.
You should be able to spend $50 less on this. So don't get locked in on this. Spend less on that SSD. $50 less on this SSD, and give yourself additional SSD storage that's fast, but you're not spending the same prices on the NVMe SSD. Apply that to the graphics card to get yourself a 1070, and you're good. All right,
Word.
golden.
Moving on. Thanks, Mike.
Perfect.
Alejandro.
Alejandro.
It's a build for his friend,
Cool.
and he likes our idea for the segment.
Build for the friend.
That's awesome.
Another Ryzen build, 2600. So we got a 6-core.
A lot of Ryzen builds today.
For 170, and it's a solid price for the. So here's the real dilemma for the kind of mid-range budget builder right now. If you're on Ryzen, which you kind of should be, because the Intel stuff really isn't. I don't know. It's not selling me right now.
Yeah.
The 2600 for 170, the 1600 for 150. Or the 1700 for 210, 220. If you can find the 1700 on sale, because it drops below 200 sometimes, definitely scoop that up.
Absolutely.
Other than that, though, it's perfectly legit to get the 2600 for 170 versus these. It's only $20 more than the 1600. Okay, so X470 motherboard for $155. This is the Asus Prime. That's a solid motherboard.
But why X470?
He's
only have one
he's
graphics
potentially
card in there.
so he's got a 2600. I imagine he's potentially going to overclock it. 2600 instead of the 2600X. You're spending your money on this, knowing it's unlocked and it's a reasonable option to get yourself 2600X speeds with a decent overclocking motherboard. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems a bit pricey. $155 just to overclock Ryzen seems like something you do on the Intel platform right now. Personal opinion. B450 is supposed to have very adequate overclocking capabilities. Probably
Depending on the board.
depending on the board. I mean, yeah, but what I'm saying is you could probably get a very similar overclocking experience with a decent B450 board that's going to cost you quite a bit less than this X470 board. I feel like X470 is really only reserved for if you're trying to really like squeeze like the 99.999% of potential out of your CPU, and you're willing to spend quite a bit extra for that diminishing return, or if you're going to go multi GPU.
So you could potentially shave some cost overall by getting a less expensive motherboard. The board that I just used for my $800 build is an X370 motherboard from ASRock, X370 SLI AC, which is $100. And has decent power delivery for overclocking. That said, this is a solid mid-range motherboard, and I feel like a $150 motherboard. I don't know. I'm more okay with it. Especially if you want to dabble with the overclocking. But yes, you could shave. You could also shave some money off there, and then apply it towards your CPU and get the 1700 and have 8 cores and 16 threads. So that's another possibility.
Right.
Your memory kit is a solid choice here. Assuming this is a compatible or Ryzen compatible memory kit, which I'm not positive, you should double check your motherboard's QVL list. But we're not going that in depth in this segment, otherwise it'll take way too long. 240 gig SSD, 1 terabyte hard drive. Here, what are you doing? My God,
He's getting antsy.
he is a little antsy. GTX 1080, Fractal Meshify C, and a 750 watt power supply. Power supply also, you're spending a good amount on. You don't need that much wattage. You could maybe shave $10-20 off and still get an 80 plus gold modular power supply.
Yeah.
Even from EVGA, 550 to 650 watts is what I would look at. So yeah, there's a little wiggle room with the few parts you have here. Overall, I think you have a very nice assortment.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so good job. Okay.
There's a $20 mail-in rebate on that power supply, by the way.
There is. So
He's cool with that.
which brings it down to 80, which is still expensive.
No, it brings it down to like 50 or 60.
No, it's 100. It's
I didn't see that.
$97.89 down to $77.89.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay. Next up is Shrim for an HTPC VR system.
Shreem.
Again, a Ryzen.
Interesting.
The R52600.
Interesting system. HTPC and VR.
$1,200 system. All right. We got an aftermarket cooler, the CryoRig C7. I have heard varying reports on the CryoRig 7 when applied to a Ryzen processor. I have not tested it myself, so please go and look up and maybe find some articles that have been written that have directly tested this. But I've heard that the C7 doesn't do much better than the stock cooler.
He might be choosing that because if you look at the case, Node 202. I don't think the Wraith fits.
Doesn't? All right.
Node 202 is so unforgiving.
It is very thin. Okay.
With the CPU.
If it's needed for that, then that makes sense. Another B450
45.
motherboard. Wow, I feel like there's a lot of people just right on top of it with the B450 launch today.
Yeah.
Again, a 16 gig memory kit. This is the Corsair Vengeance kit that is extremely popular and extremely compatible.
Oh yeah.
175. Yeah, that's about what I would expect it to be right now.
Sure.
500 gig hard drive.
SSD.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's a SSD. The WD Blue. I said WD Blue. I forgot about the blue SSDs.
Yeah.
All right. 500 gig for $100.
It's
Yeah.
SATA,
All right.
SATA based, right? Is that SATA or NVMe? I think it's SATA, but I think the WD Black's NVMe.
Positive.
And
We're gonna investigate.
Yeah, it's SATA.
It is SATA. All right. So yeah, that's reasonable. I mean,
for a mini ATX, M.2 makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Whether you're going PCIe or SATA.
okay. GTX 1080 and all right. So
It's going to be a killer system, man, in a very small package. It's all how you use it.
So the 1080 should be okay with the power supply. I do not know about the power supply that's included with this
80
fractal.
plus bronze.
It's a bronze rated,
It's 80 plus
450
bronze.
watts.
If you're not overclocking heavily
Then it
or
should
at
be
all,
okay?
you should be fine.
Okay.
If you really want to push the limits of your card and your CPU, though, and you want to overclock, consider buying the Node 202 without the power supply and adding your own.
Because you can.
550. You might as well go 550.
It's a SFX. It's just a SFX power supply, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'd probably be my one suggestion as well, is maybe a little power supply upgrade. Because the Node 202 without the power supply, I don't know what that costs. Was it $80-$90?
Yeah, like
Maybe a little
70, 80, yeah.
So you'll probably spend $30-$40 more. So it's going to be your call on whether or not you want to do that. But I will say, for an HTPC that might be on all the time, upgrading your power supply to like a gold-rated one will actually save you long-term on your
Power bill?
on your actual power bill, because it'll use less power with a more efficient power supply. And if it's an HTPC that's on all the time, then that might be something to consider. Okay.
Yar. Thank you very much.
Is that all? We got one more.
Pyro.
One more from Pyro. The computer he's been wanting to build for the last 6 months.
Cool.
All right. I wonder if this has been an evolving thing.
Oh, we got an Intel chip finally, an
Right.
8700. No K-SKU, not overclockable. But we also have an EVGA CLC 280 and an ROG Strix Z370E.
Huh.
We have 16 gigs of Corsair Vengeance DDR4 3200 speed memory, a 500 gig. An MX500 1 terabyte crucial
yeah.
SSD, Asus GTX 1070 Ti. That's a Strix card, and a 760T Corsair case with an 850 watt EVGA Supernova power supply. Okay, and some fans from Corsair.
All right.
I think the first thing that I would point out is that you have a non-overclockable CPU, but you're spending a little bit extra on a Z series motherboard.
As well as over $100 on a cooler.
And on a cooler, which isn't really necessary, a 280 cooler nonetheless, for a CPU that you can't even overclock. So I think you either want to get an 8700K and then everything makes sense, or if you really want that 8700, then you reduce your cooler to something a bit more moderate, and then you also go with like a B360 motherboard, and save a lot of money. And save quite a bit of money, like over $100.
This is a $200 motherboard. A lot of the features of this motherboard are going to be kind of wasted if you're not bothering with some overclocking or tweaking or that kind of thing. This is an expensive motherboard at $200 for this platform. You could probably get away with something a little bit cheaper. There's just I feel like there's a ton of ways you could potentially shave some dollars off of this build. So let's
this is a $2,000 build.
Yeah,
Woo!
let's assume you want to just upgrade that
spend that much.
8700 to and hold on. Wait, how do you work PC Perfect?
He's going for the look here. He's going for the look. He's got the nice memory with the RGB, the brand spanking new Vengeance RGB. He's got a nice motherboard and case, high-end case. I mean, you know, if you have the money and you want the look you want.
8700K is about 350 versus the 8700 at 320. So we only need $30. So like literally you'd be much better off buying a $50 air cooler, saving $20 and going with the 8700K. If you want the liquid cooler though, like get a slightly less expensive motherboard maybe, and apply $30 toward your CPU to upgrade your CPU. Your memory kit is a little on the expensive side. It's Vengeance. This is RGB. All right, so a little bit more for the RGB.
It's the newest kit.
If that's what you want, okay. 1 terabyte SSD for 200. you could maybe get something cheaper than this right now. SSD prices have been dropping pretty substantially. For over $500, you should be getting a GTX 1080.
Yeah.
Not a 1070 Ti. Your case, that's an expensive case, $170. There's tons of really good case options around $100 that are very full featured, so you can save some money there. If you love that case though, then go for it. Don't let us hold you back on that. And then you've got an 850 watt power supply, which again is just way overkill. Even like 750 watt is plenty.
Yeah.
650 watt
would be totally adequate.
Is still totally adequate. Even for a 1080 Ti, 650 watts is okay. So you can shave some money off there too.
You could bring this entire system down to closer to 1500, I think, and still have the same performance.
Yeah.
Or even more if you get the K-SKU.
So hopefully some of those suggestions are helpful for you.
The best if I see though, I like that. That's a good case.
That's a good case.
For this build.
And that is that's all.
Those are all the things.
For Pimp My PC Part Picker list.
What did you think of the segment? What did you guys think of the segment?
It's good.
I thought it was cool.
I mean,
you know what's cool about this segment is that we can take a look at completely different builds that wouldn't necessarily work for Pimp My PC. Like the HTPC VR rig, like you can't really pimp. It's harder to pimp out. Jesus. Like a Node 202
I'm gonna see
build.
if he needs to
maybe he needs to take a shit on your lawn or something. But cool.
Hero.
I need more technical education. Okay. All right. So moving on. Paul will catch up. I'll fill him in. Let's do some tech news. Where is this? Is this okay? This is the thing. Tech news. News. Okay. We have 5 articles for my half in this segment, and then we'll break it off to donations and stuff. Whoa, Paul's monitor is going nuts. What's happening? Paul!
What?
Your monitor's freaking out?
Freaking out?
What's it doing? It's just like a bunch of like interlaced lines just going nuts.
Every once in a while, it gets a little glitchy thing across the.
What? What? Is it the?
It's never that bad. What did you do?
Nothing. I literally clicked on news, and then I was like, "That's it." I literally clicked on news. I didn't do anything. Guys, I have to take a picture of this and tweet it.
This is horrible. No, don't do.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, I know. There's sensitive information. I don't think there's anything on there, right? There's nothing. Nothing. Are you resetting it?
Turn it off and back on again.
Oh God!
It usually fixes everything.
This is what we live for. Just technical troubleshooting.
Yay!
Alright, it's fixed. Just try turning it off and on again.
Alright, so what's next news?
Okay, news. We're talking about Logitech and their recent acquisition, or their process of acquiring Blue microphones.
Yeah.
For 117 million cash.
Just a big. How do they deliver that? Like, that's always my question.
Just a bag of money.
I mean, I know it's probably just a wire transfer
Yeah,
or
it's
something
just a
like
wire
that,
transfer.
but I always imagine.
Can you imagine?
When they say in cash, you always have to
it's
imagine
cash.
that, like, physical
money. Dollar bills. Dollar bills.
Like ones. In ones. It has to be in singles.
Or you can,
117 million single $1 bills. That's how they have to pay.
Or do you think there's ever been like a really trolley company who's acquired a brand and like pay them in pennies?
Probably. I mean, I imagine
Like
there's
pulled a Mr.
stories.
Beast and just like paid him off in nickels or something.
That'd be fun.
All right, so Logitech is in the process of acquiring Blue microphones. This is an article from The Verge, but it's been pretty much everywhere on the internet today. Blue is known for their USB condenser microphones, including the Snowball, the Yeti, very popular microphone brand. For anyone looking for a little boost in their audio quality, their recording quality, whether you're a musician, a streamer, etc. They will join Logitech's existing portfolio of brands. They've already got, who's Logitech have? Well, they have themselves. They have Logitech G, which is their gaming series. Terrible attempt at throwing that in the trash can. They have Jaybird and what was the other one?
I don't know any of it.
Astro Gaming. Astro Gaming as well.
Logitech owns Astro?
Yes. Which I did not know until today. I think
now we
I
know.
know about Jaybird. The company says the acquisition is a logical adjacent opportunity with great synergies. I think every acquisition press release in the past 10 years has used the word synergies.
I dislike whichever PR rep wrote that line.
Oh, fuck you and your synergy bullshit. God,
That word should only be used in
shit.
jest. Like, so I'm trying
It's
to
the
use
synergy. We touched tips in synergy, in perfect synergetical, harmonious
synergenital.
synergenital.
It was,
Our synergenitals were synergetically synced with each other's synergies. All right. Anyway,
sexy.
there's not much else to say here other than congrats, Logitech. I guess make us some cool microphone. Does this mean we're gonna see like a blue quality microphone, like a Yeti, implemented into a keyboard? Like where you just have like a microphone built into your mechanical keyboard or something like that. Maybe there will be some. I'm trying to think. As I was reading this article, I was trying to think: would there be any weird sort of mashup product that would come from like
that's what I was about
a peripheral maker and specifically
I want a keyboard, mic, webcam,
right,
all in one
which
unit.
would be really cool actually. Because if you ever went to a LAN and you wanted to stream at the LAN, you could just bring your keyboard, be one peripheral to rule them all. That could be revolutionary. That could be really cool. I don't know how it would work or look, but I think there's potential here.
So
in this segment.
So, all right. As long as the webcam part of it is detachable, so you can reposition it. Because my only thought is like, if the webcam is built into the keyboard, it's just
your
gonna
chin.
be like a nose
Your
shot.
chin
like,
and nostrils.
We're watching my live stream.
It looked like when you open up your camera and it's the front-facing camera pops on, you're just like, oh god, turn it, flip it around, Jesus Christ, I look like a monster.
You can trim my nose hairs.
But people are bringing up.
That'd be fun though. What?
People were bringing up a very good point in chat, and I thought about this as well. That if you had the mic built into your keyboard, it'd be very loud as you're clacking away, even on like some quieter switches. I would imagine. But if there was somehow a built-in
why
mic,
they acquired Blue though, because Blue is the mic technology,
noise canceling technologies
to get rid of those.
Yeah,
they've got they have the technical knowledge,
or
skill, the manufacturing.
Could you imagine though,
balls.
or if Logitech came out with a headset that had a microphone
and a keyboard
on par with a Yeti? Could you imagine a gaming headset from Logitech with like a Yeti grade mic? That would be sweet. I think that's maybe the more direction.
You're gonna say a headset with a keyboard.
Hey guys, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go take a pee-pee.
To type on the
I need a
keyboard,
bio
which is
back
on the top of the. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
That would just launch a whole. Oh god, I hate it when people clip stuff because it means we've done something terrible or embarrassing. I'll watch it later. Thank you, everyone.
All right, what's next?
Next up is NVIDIA announcing the GeForce Gaming Celebration at Gamescom 2018.
That sounds jubilant.
This article's from NVIDIA themselves, straight from the horse's mouth.
NVIDIA.
They're talking about basically announcing their big old gaming celebration, which is takes place a day before Gamescom on August 20th in Cologne, Germany. In case you guys aren't aware, Gamescom is the biggest or the largest gaming convention in the world that happens annually. And a day before it starts, this year, NVIDIA is going to host a little shindig. Oh. And they've invited everyone and said, come on down, it's going to be fun. And I quote, the event will be loaded with new, exclusive, hands-on demos. That's not in the quote. Of the hottest upcoming games, stage presentations, and the world's biggest game developers, and some spectacular surprises.
Oh.
What are the surprises? We don't know. We'll find out at some point on August 20th. Yes, absolutely titular. And we'll find out what they're exactly talking about with their spectacular surprises come August 20th. So yeah, it should be fun. Paul and I, we will be there. I will probably be there to explore all the games at Gamescom and to just hang out.
I think I'll go to Gamescom too, Kyle.
Yeah, it's like life's short. If you have the opportunity to go to Gamescom,
it's a good idea.
And you're not on NVIDIA's parole list, or you don't have a restraining order or something, or they don't have a restraining order on you. I don't even know why this is relevant, but you should go. You should go to Gamescom. Anyone who's not ever been in a court battle with NVIDIA should go to Gamescom. All right, my NDA is showing. That sounds like
I don't know what Kyle's talking about right now.
I don't know what they're talking about.
All I know,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Is that it's in Cologne, Germany.
It's in Cologne, Germany, not the Cologne.
I am
City.
of German heritage.
Me not.
Although I have never actually visited the motherland, so
I have.
You know,
I've drank all the German beers.
so Kyle's technically more German than me, but
I am.
I'm looking forward to it. So if you're going to be in Cologne for Gamescom, then maybe we'll have a chance to say hi.
Yeah.
We're not sure about many of the details at this point, but
Yeah, you know, it's up in the air.
very exciting. Very exciting.
Yeah. I'm sure the spectacular
check out
surprises
the
will
old-
be surprising.
The old European Union. See how things are going over there. Across the pond.
Hey, Euro. What do you call them? Europeans? Hey, Europeans.
Probably Germans where
Hey.
we're going to be.
Hey, German. But if you're in Cologne, would you call hey, Colonian?
Hey, Colonian. I always just assume it's gonna smell really good in Cologne. Like, this is right? I'm just gonna get there, walk off the plaza. Oh, it's just pleasant. What a pleasant smell.
God.
It's almost as if the air is perfumed. Anyway,
Smells like the beauty section of a shopping
Okay.
mall. Okay, so thanks NVIDIA for the announcement that you'll be doing fun stuff at Gamescom. We can't wait to see what you guys pull out of your hats. Next up, we've got an article from videocards.com, once again from NVIDIA. This is a bit more technical. And the company has introduced their adaptive temporal anti-aliasing with ray tracing now. So this is basically building upon adaptive temporal aliasing, which already exists, but now we have it with ray tracing. So it's gone from TAA to ATAA. And I keep thinking of like AT-AT walkers from Star Wars, but that's totally not what we're talking about. This is all the feature, the technology that we're talking about allows the processing to happen in real time with the help of ray tracing. It's designed specifically for games, which I like. This isn't like games get the back burner purpose of this technology. It's by and for gaming developers. This is a new technology that's developed to overcome the problems that were associated with TAA, such as ghosting and blurring. This was especially prevalent in scenes that included a lot of motion or movement. With a problem with TAA, so the ray tracing really helps to alleviate a lot of those artifacts like ghosting and blurring. NVIDIA is promising that ATAA will achieve a quality of 8x super sampling while staying under 33 millisecond frame delays, which is fantastic. So you're getting basically SSAA 8x, but with a reduced penalty to performance. That is a good thing. And this has been measured in Unreal Engine 4 using a Titan V. The tech is not coming to gamers anytime soon, according to the article, which you might expect because there are no video cards on the market right now that would even support this technology. Perhaps there will be some new GPU in the near future that will support this new technology. I mean, it's just a matter of time, right? We just don't know exactly when that time will be. The authors of the research paper that introduces this new technology were emphasizing the importance of DXR API, or Microsoft DirectX ray tracing, again, which is something that needs to be implemented by the GPU manufacturer into the cards to support the technology in the first place. So this is a cool technology that is not coming to gamers on any existing GPU architecture. This is next gen. This is a next gen feature that we could see hopefully sooner than later. I think we're all hoping for new video cards very soon. But that's all we're going to say on that. Thank you very much, Video Cards, for that article. We can move on to Ars Technica's article on YouTube. Hey, we're streaming to YouTube right now. Might as well talk about it.
That's
what's
remarkable coincidence.
And what's going on with YouTube right now is that vertical video has forever changed, along with 4:3 video. There's basically been a new update to the favored to our beloved video website, that basically changes how we view vertical video. This is an example. Actually, I provided some links in the show doc, if Paul wants to bring those up.
Yes.
Let's take a look at the 4x3 video. So this is what 4x3 video looks like on YouTube. Wait, expand. Oh, you can't expand the window much anymore, can you? Huh? Oh, okay, that's interesting. It looks like this is the tradition, the old way.
I'm sorry.
Okay, that's weird. Because according to the article and from what I was looking at earlier,
Article's wrong.
no. Did they
Liars.
did they go back on it? It's supposed to fill up the entire screen now, or fill up the entire video playing area.
Hold on.
So actually, the pictures, the before and after pictures, show it pretty clearly. That's really weird that your system, or for whatever reason, it's not updated. Basically,
it's not because it's not updated.
Basically,
it's because I'm using the legacy YouTube view.
Okay. So I'll just continue while Paul figures that out. 4x3 video on YouTube has always been played back with the black bars on either side, but now the 4x3 video is actually stretched out to fill that entire video player space. So there's no more black bars, and you get essentially more video. This is just a random dude's video that I found that I thought was hilarious. It has 1.2 million views because
this is also the old view.
This is also the old view. So this is what it looks like before.
All right, here's the new view.
So the new view,
Old view, new view.
new view has
we
no
go.
more black bars. Instead, it is just
It's
white
white space instead of black bars. This is revolutionary, a massive change.
It's either revolutionary or arguably racist. How we've switched over to white bars. Why do they gotta be white? Why does everything have to be white? I don't know.
What's the difference between these two?
So they're also showing that 16:9 video has been slightly enlarged. If you look at the left margins, the margins have been reduced so that we're now filling up a little bit more of the screen space with even 16:9 video.
Okay.
But the main changes here are 4x3, which no longer has black bars on the side, and I think that's the biggest one, is that 4x3 is now sort of a full screen image with no black bars. The vertical video doesn't really make sense to me because you're literally just switching from black bars to white bars. It doesn't seem to make a hell of a difference to me because I don't see color, ladies and gentlemen. But for whatever reason, people are still angry about this. If you look at the YouTube help forum, people are putting this new change on blast. Of course, what would you expect?
It's different.
The internet is hesitant and are holding up pitchforks to change? Impossible. People are pissed. If you look on the Google forums and stuff, people like the old way. You guys sound off in chat. Let's have a discussion going on what you think of the new playback style. Additionally, YouTube has also rolled out dark mode for Android YouTube's app, which is a long time coming. This has already existed on iOS and on the desktop site. Finally, us Android users get a dark mode option where we can view YouTube essentially with a dark background, a black background, instead of the white, which is definitely helpful when you're like browsing at nighttime and you don't want like your phone backlight just blaring in your eyeballs and stuff.
It's a lie. This is a lie.
Yeah.
You're lying to me.
No, I'm not lying. Not lying. You're in legacy mode or some shit. You're in old man mode. You're like in irrelevant mode.
Because maybe it's okay if you're just watching YouTube, but if you're using YouTube and uploading to YouTube and there's vital things that you use and ways that you access those things and suddenly they're changed or moved, and you don't have time to deal with this shit right now because you're just trying to get a video uploaded so you can post your stick of video before it gets too late in the day and they have to post it tomorrow.
What's been moved?
Things have moved everywhere, so you're just like, screw this shit. I don't want to sit here trying to find it. Give me the old mode right now, because you've changed stuff at an inconvenient time for me, and I just want the old thing so I can get stuff done the way I'm used to it being done. All right?
Jeez, Paul.
It's bullshit. This whole thing's bullshit.
Gosh, I didn't realize that this was such an issue.
YouTube sucks.
Maybe YouTube should, ask us first if we'd be okay with this level of change before they just go all apocalypto on us.
Yeah.
That's just seems rude at this point. Lord knows I can only upload videos to YouTube when it's in dark mode.
I haven't even tried dark mode though, because
if it's in light mode, I just
legacy mode, so I don't have access to that.
Old bastard. All right.
What can you do? All right, what's next?
Moving on. This is our last article for my half. This is also from Ars Technica. A very fascinating article that's headlined, "Don't try to rejuvenate your vagina. FDA warns after scolding companies." I just couldn't let this article pass me by. The FDA is noting that
this guy's given a healthy dose of side-eye there.
His vagina has clearly not been rejuvenated, and he is waiting for a healthy treatment.
Is he looking at someone who is trying to rejuvenate their vagina? Is that what he's looking at?
Maybe disapprovingly. Perhaps he's, from the FDA.
I just feel like there's a lot of subtext going on to this picture, and I'm not 100% sure what all of it is.
Well, let's dive right in and go deep into this article, no pun intended. The FDA sent warning letters to 7 companies advertising energy-based devices that are being used outside of their approved intended uses. Some of these devices are radio frequency or vaginal and have legitimate uses like removing warts or precancerous vaginal or cervical vaginal. I think vaginal is just the proper way to say it. I'm just going to say vaginal from now on because I think that makes the most awkward sense. Or cervical tissue, but these companies are instead using them for vaginal rejuvenation. And I put that in quotes because this is actually a phrase or a term that these companies are marketing. They're saying, come to us for your vaginal rejuvenation and we'll promise you a tighter tissue, relieved pain, and boosted sexual pleasure. Basically, we'll make your pussy live forever, is what they're saying. They're rejuvenating your vaginal status to single. I don't know what's happening here, but more specifically, these companies are collectively claiming that the devices are able to treat vaginal laxity, pain during urination or intercourse, decreased sexual sensation, and vaginal dryness, itching, or atrophy. Some of these issues are symptoms related to menopause, urinary incontinence, sorry. Incontinence. Usually when I refer to incontinence, it's when I'm in a different continent.
Incontinentia buttocks.
So familiar with. Or sexual function issues. So essentially there are companies now, this is a trend. This is a trend where there are now companies saying, hey, you know what? We could really, in order to make a product, before you can make a product, you first need a problem. And then you need to sell the solution to that problem. Well, you know what? My wife complains about her vagina all the time. Oh yeah, mine too. My wife says her vagina is not what it used to be when she was 21. That's why she goes to Forever 21 all the time and shops there. So hey, why don't we create a business called Vaginal Rejuvenation, where older women can have their vagines recreated in a sense, given new life, give birth to the thing that usually gives birth. So let's use these tools, these medical tools, medicinal tools that are generally used to treat warts and precancerous objects on the body, but we'll use them for our new marketing ploy called vaginal rejuvenation. And apparently the FDA has caught on to this whole scheme and gone, this is not right. People are blasting vaginas with lasers, and it's dangerous. These lasers aren't even intended for vaginal blasting and rejuvenating. Please, someone stop this. So that's why the FDA sent out letters to these companies, and we're like, dude, you guys got to stop blasting people's vaginas with these cancer lasers. It's fucked up. It's really fucked up. Vaginas are suffering all over the world. Like, my wife's a client, and her vagina is even worse than it was before. I don't know what's going on here. Freaking laser beams. Okay? So, the FDA just cares about your wife's vaginas. And then we've broken Paul. Paul.exe has officially stopped working. And we are at level 9, level 11 fucked up. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going on about right now, but the FDA commissioner even tweeted, "We're deeply concerned. We're deeply concerned women are being harmed by these procedures." He's basically saying we're deeply concerned about women's vaginas, which is an important thing to care about.
I can't see.
It's an important thing to care about. And And it's just, you know,
It's a good thing my image isn't being streamed to the internet right now. All right.
this is why we have hands. Just face palm the face. So my half's done.
Thank you.
I'm done. I'll
Good.
spare you the rest of the torture.
Oh my god.
Boy.
Okay.
I didn't think you'd
Plus-
lose it so hard. But, you know,
This is blasting the vaginas with the cancer laser. That's what got me. Okay, sorry.
it was a serious topic, Paul.
I had a very good comment. I was gonna make a very good comment too, but
Vaginas are at
it's
risk.
gone now.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll...
Sorry. That was a good laugh. That was a good laugh.
I'm sure that'll be
good
Twitch
to have
clips for all of history
Good to have
to see.
It's good to have a good laugh.
Indeed, you know.
Like incapacitating laugh from time to time. Oh, all right. So
It's good to laugh at people's
what's next,
expenses.
Kyle? What's
So next we can talk about some donations. Thank you guys very much for donating. You never have to on this show, but it's always appreciated. And thank you for sending in these messages attached to all the money that we will most definitely be spending on ourselves soon. Bazinga X, $10. Paul, don't you think Kyle owes you 20 push-ups for having his computer on a carpeted floor? Another 20 push-ups from both of you for being late.
what? It's the middle of summer. It's hot. I don't want to do push-ups. I mean, I should do some
Well,
push-ups.
he's saying that I owe you 20 push-ups since I think he's talking about the elite build being
Yeah,
on the floor. But
on the floor.
here's the thing. The elite build is so massive that the intake is like literally a foot or two off the floor, and because the bottom fans are all exhaust. The intake at the front is first of all intaking from the sides of the system, so it's not even getting air from the bottom in any possible way. I was running that thing for a good 2-3 months straight, and there was hardly any dust. 24/7 operation, so I think it's a little bit different with a $12,000 PC inside of an N2 Elite chassis than your typical, you know, I don't know, S340 Elite or whatever. That's, you know, literally close to the
I still think it
floor.
would be nice to have some sort of something just to raise it. You know. It's just sad. It's sad when it's on the floor.
And you know the N2 Elite, how it's structured, right? There's like a full sheet of metal at the bottom, and then it's raised,
I'm aware,
and then there's exhaust
and
fans.
the legitimate practical, you know, airflow configuration with exhaust at the bottom solves the main issue of of sucking a bunch of dust in. I'm just saying, it'd be nice to. Wasn't on the
You
floor.
know, if I owned a desk that I felt confident enough to put that 200-pound thing on, that I probably would. That was also big enough to house it.
Not like up
but-
on a desk. It's. I'm not saying like.
Just like a pallet.
Just
that
something.
Thing,
Just-
that
yeah.
that system would need a freaking mini pallet. To nothing else I would trust putting it on. But
not that hard.
it is hard, Paul. It's hard as
Yeah.
PETG tubing. Okay. Notchin, thank you very much. $5. Love the show. Paul, when streaming from your house, Twitch won't Chromecast from Twitch. By the way, my screen name is because I don't have a prominent chin. His name's No,
No chin. That makes sense.
It's very, very
When
logical.
streaming from your house, Twitch won't Chromecast from Twitch. I don't understand what you're asking. You mean from my house? Like when we're doing the stream, our live stream on Awesome Hardware?
I think-
You mean streaming from your house as in you're speaking from a personal perspective. Like if you're streaming from your house, blah blah.
I think maybe he means when he's watching the stream from my studio, it's fine. But when we're streaming from your house, Twitch won't. He can't use Chromecast to throw the stream onto his TV.
Oh.
I think that's how I would interpret it, but I don't know. That
I don't.
is very peculiar.
We used the same software and as far as I know, pretty much the same settings from both locations. So I don't know why that would be the case.
Right.
Yeah.
That is
But-
peculiar.
Is that-
But I'm opening these Twitch clips
me
just because I
dying?
want to be able to watch them later.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much, Nochin. Hope you figure that out. AJ Patel, $4.99. You guys are awesome. Quick question, since we're talking about GPUs: EVGA hybrid for the win or Aorus Water Force Extreme? Should I do a vertical GPU build? Ooh, what is the Aorus Water Force Extreme, and why have I not really?
It's their 1080 Ti that has liquid cooling, I think.
Okay, so
Or is
it
it
is
just-
an AIO. It is an AIO. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's basically a direct competitor to the EVGA. Well, geez, man, I don't think you could go wrong either way, even though I haven't really fully reviewed either one. Look at the reviews. They're probably pretty good either way. And should you do a vertical GPU build? This is where I would say vertical GPU build, go for it, because you have an all-in-one liquid cooler on your GPU.
That makes
where
sense.
You can put the radiator and fan anywhere else in your system to get healthy, adequate airflow, and your temperatures will not be impeded. It does not really matter. So go for it. That's actually a great application for an AIO GPU. As far as which one to go for, that's going to be a personal preference. El Jefe Reviews, $5. Kyle, congrats on getting that gold play button, dude. Thank you very much. Super proud of you. Thanks, man. Much love from El Jefe. Thank you.
El Jefe.
Thank you. I'm still waiting to unbox it. I've not even taken it out of the box yet because I kind of want to do a 1 million subscriber video. Just to be like, yay, congrats to me, right? Because that's what everyone does. I never made a 1 million subscriber video because the day that I hit 1 million subs, like there was some personal shit going on, and I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it. It was a bad time. It was a bad time. So now I'm definitely, that's all done and totally solved. So for sure, I'm going to be posting some sort of 1 million subscriber video. But thank you very much, El Jefe. I appreciate the congratulations. Johnny T. Chalatis. 5 euros, no comment. Thank you very much, Johnny. We appreciate it. Pup Shepherd, $5. I hate after hours on call pager duties for work. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Hashtag tech support not always fun.
I feel that.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that, bro. Well, you know what, Pup? You know what they say? If there's no tech support, you're shit out of luck.
What do they say?
I don't know.
Kyle?
I don't know. It's just
There's a fly.
there's a fly.
Screw you, fly.
There's no tech support. There's a stupid fly in your face,
I hate flies.
as they say. Thanks, Pup. I wish I had something better to
Ah.
reply with. TV Chow for the $5. Have a reek on us. Have a wrong hog reek. Oh, he's quoting me.
Yes, because we were doing the leak segment
Right.
earlier.
Kyle, July 2018. That's weird that I was imitating you, quoting me. Okay. Well, yeah, I say that, and I mean it, and I stand by it.
Very meta.
Yep. Put that on my gravestone. Chad McDonald. Any relation to the McDonald? Had to ask. Had to ask. I'm sure you've never gotten that before. $20. Keep it up, guys. Love both your channels. Always entertaining and informative. Buy yourself some beer for next week. We most certainly will.
Yes, we will.
We always do. David Dunham, $5. No comment. Thank you for your $5, David.
Thanks, David.
Carl Hall, 5 Canadians. Work called as soon as you started, and I missed half of Kyle's part. So disappointing. Have a disappointment beer. Hey, we will continue to disappoint you.
It's hard to have a disappointment beer,
we get beer.
when beer is so not disappointing.
Right?
But
It's an oxymoron, really.
maybe it's like you're disappointed, and then you have the beer, and maybe that helps a little bit. But we shouldn't really rely on beer to like cure disappointment. I feel like that's getting
Unhealthy?
into an unhealthy level of dependence. But thank you, Carl, for your donation.
We call that one alcoholism.
Yes.
All right, Zax TV, $5. Can you recommend a platform to me for gaming, streaming, and editing PC in the micro ATX form factor? Thanks for the time. Love the show.
A platform. AM4?
B450. Yeah, B450 AM4, I would say. For gaming, streaming, and editing, sure. In a micro ATX form factor, there's bound to be there's definitely some micro ATX B450 boards.
If you're looking
Ryzen's
to
killing it
spend a
right now.
reasonable amount of money, then you probably want a Ryzen or Ryzen 2nd Gen and AM4.
Word.
There are micro ATX form factor motherboards for like X299 and on Intel side and X399 on AMD side for high-end desktop stuff, but you'll spend a lot more money on those. So
Yeah.
probably the AM4 option is your best bet.
Yeah, can't go wrong there. MB67, $13.37 as always.
Oh, thank you.
Kyle, I like the concept of your new Pimp My PC part picker list. Cheers. Thanks. It's good to hear some good, some solid feedback from that one.
Yeah.
We will definitely be bringing it back. Bazinga X, $5. Germany is fatherland, not motherland.
Ah.
Kyle, that's another 20 push-ups for you.
I'm sorry.
I like how you're eating all of the push-ups I was supposed to
Will
do.
only make me stronger. But yeah, I didn't. I'm bad. I'm a bad German.
You're bad
German person.
You disgrace to the fatherland.
Disgrace to the fatherland.
Contagious.
Contagious.
It's spelled very interestingly. $5 if upgrading from a Ryzen 1600. I want the 2700X. Would love to SLI in the future with 1080s. Which motherboard would you recommend? I do streaming and heavy gaming.
Well, for SLI, you'll definitely want an X370 or X470 motherboard.
Yeah.
And I feel like as long as you spend $150 or more, you're mostly good. There's little critiques you can make between each board and that kind of thing, but most of those that are that expensive have decent power delivery.
I like Asus boards, and I like...
Asus does a good job.
Asus, Gigabyte, ASRock, MSI...
So basically, any of the motherboards that are out there.
Not any. Those are the big four. There are some lesser board manufacturers that I don't always trust as much. That are still fine in some cases, but you know, again, like Paul said, you can't go wrong with a lot of those big brands. Just go with personal preference and stuff.
If you plan to be gaming and streaming for long periods of time, I would focus on like the actual heat dissipation of the motherboard. Make sure it's got like good heat sinks, maybe even either active cooling or just something that can be cooled relatively well. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope that helps.
And I see donations coming in a mile a minute, so Sel, if you could cut off the donations for
off.
now, or shelf the ones coming from now on to Paul's half, and we'll get around to that. Go ahead and make a note in the show doc. Thank you very much. Elite Gamers, $5. Love your channel. Computers and Vag lasers.
Vag lasers.
That's why we're here, you know. Talking about the important stuff.
Merging
that needs discussion.
all of the best things together into one vagina.
Into one sewn up rejuvenated vagina. Andrew Schweier, 5 Canadians. Can I get the name of the drugs you guys are doing? Because you're what the F? Let's see.
I don't think
I am high on life,
too crazy,
Andrew. What a bold allegation to make of your favorite YouTuber. We are just awesome people who know how to have a good time.
I'm in a good mood because first there was like a lot of tension leading up to the show because I was like, oh no, what if I'm not ready and I need to make sure I'm ready? And then I kind of like got ready and we were a little bit late, but I still got ready and like everything kind of, and like once all that kind of fits together and then you start the show, after that point it's like, well, we're live and if anything goes wrong, we're just live and we got to roll with it anyway. So at that point, I feel like there's a release of tension and you just sort of relax a little bit and let yourself go. And drinking some drinks helps as well. So that's what we're on, Andrew.
If you want to know the drug we're on, it's called Hakuna Matata. It means no worries.
Mescaline.
AKA mescaline peyote mashup.
Okay.
Enough of that though. We should get some mescaline after the show. Glitched Vibes, 5 Canadians. How's life, Bitwit? Good now that I have your 5 Canadians.
It's groovy.
Even better. I'm 5 Canadians richer.
5 Canadian dollars more powerful.
Woo! Thanks, Glitched. Drew Mittman, $5. Love your vids. Quick question. What audio interface do you guys use? Preamps sound solid? And recent favorite bands and music.
Alright, recent favorite bands, I'm still sticking with Tycho because they're the most like recent band that I've discovered that I really enjoy listening to over and over again.
I introduced you to Tycho.
Kyle, yeah, it was from Kyle.
They are amazing.
Interface, alright, so I don't know if you're talking about right now the audio solution that we're using. I have a video on it. It's the Yamaha MG10XU is the actual little soundboard that I have here, which has some Phantom power and some XLR inputs and some other cool stuff.
Compressor.
Like you can do a... Wait, hold on. Where'd it go?
While he's doing that, some things I've been listening to, Odessa and Grammatic. I've known Grammatic forever, but I've been listening to him more because there's a music festival in Vegas coming up in September that I'm going to called Life is Beautiful, and both Odessa and Grammatic will be there, so I've been listening to the shit out of them so I can rage my face off when I see them live.
Oh yeah, Kyle?
Oh yeah!
Do you have anything else to add to that, Kyle?
Whatever you want me to, Paul.
It's already doing that. It's already doing that for you. You don't have to do that.
But then what does it sound when I do?
I don't know. I don't know what that sounds like.
Does it really?
Right.
Someone Twitch clip that.
It might be clipping.
Well, not that kind of clip, but...
Okay. Anyway, so that's one of the things that our soundboard can do. Yay!
Did we just blow everyone's ears off?
I don't know. That was pitch change, so I think we sounded like Satan, but I'm not sure.
Awesome. Mission complete. Daniel Schultz, $5. Hey guys, I watch all the time. Keep up the good work. What's your opinion on buying X mining GPUs? Ooh, that's a good question.
It didn't even work. Nothing happened. Oh yeah, I have to push the. I've been headed to. Wait,
We just look like a bunch of idiots. Just like,
hey, it
what do I sound like now?
It must sound horrible. Wait.
Do I sound like the devil?
Stop. Okay, how about now?
Do I sound like the devil now?
Is it working now? Because the light's on, and I think that might mean that it's actually working this time.
I'm the devil.
But,
suck my dick.
We should use these effects more often, I think. Okay.
Fa-ta-la.
Still not working? Why not?
Nope, didn't work.
It should have worked.
Wait, what?
I don't know. All right,
Oh my god, I'm like
know.
reading like not working. Okay.
All right, well, I don't know why it's not working, but it should be working. All right.
Oh, this is terrible.
Stupid soundboard.
So terrible. Okay, all right. Let's move on here. Okay, again, what's your opinion on buying X mining GPUs? Let's focus.
I'm trying to figure out why it wasn't working.
You should buy them with caution unless they're super dirt cheap and you're using them as a temporary solution. Because you have no idea what those GPUs have been through.
Oh, the knob.
Oh,
sorry. There's knobs on our individual channels too. Okay. Sorry. Go on.
He was asking if he should buy X mining GPUs. I was saying it's kind of a risk because you have no idea what those GPUs have been through, how long they've been running 24/7. If you can find an extremely good deal on them that you're just like, okay, if it. You have to ask yourself the personal question. This is a personal thing. If you're buying an RX 580 for $150, you're like, and you're thinking, you have to decide for yourself. If this thing's gonna crap out on me in like 6 months to a year or 2 years, am I gonna be okay with that? So assess how long you think that GPU will last you under a heavy mining load. Always assume the worst case scenario is what I would suggest. And then decide, is the price that they're asking worth the worst case scenario of that GPU? That's the best I could really offer you. All right, did I say that all as the devil?
No.
Oh.
No, not at all.
Okay. Good.
They should just keep.
I don't want to sound evil while I talk about mining for GPUs.
I mean, I've heard that there's a bunch like mining GPUs or there's
Everywhere.
a bunch of them going up for sale right now.
Working.
So it might be actually a good time. Potentially, it's a good time to buy a used mining GPU if you can get a really good deal.
Just get a really good deal.
I mean, heck, if I could find like an RX 480 or RX 580 for $150 right now,
I would buy the shit out of that card.
that sounds reasonable.
I think it's working now.
Okay.
Paul, aka Little Nicky.
I was just.
You sound like 3 girls. Oh, Jesus.
I was just trying to prove to myself that it could work.
Yeah, no, you did. You definitely did.
But thank
now
you,
everyone's like, robot.
Thank you to the person in chat who pointed out that there are FX knobs on the individual channels
They
as well.
must have like the exact same export or something.
Yeah,
I love chat.
It's popular.
Chat.
Popular board.
You know the thing is about chat, like they'll always know more than us because it's like hundreds of minds versus ours.
Yeah,
You are
it's
a real
always smarter.
chat. You are our real overlords. You're the real MVP. Maddock Ogden, 5 New Zealanders. Hi guys, thanks for being the best tech YouTubers. Have been heaps of help. We've been heaps of help with building my own computer and just good entertainment in general as well. I thank you, Mr. Ogden. We appreciate that, and we're glad that we were able to help you get your system up off the ground. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Words. I can formulate them. David Fucaloro, $5. Would love to be able to get a Flash BIOS desk mat. Okay. All right. That is something that I'll keep in mind. That's the first request I've gotten for that, but I'll look into that. maybe I'll add that to the store.
You should do that.
Speaking of which, those are the last donations from my half.
Yay.
Anyone else who donated right now, we'll be shouting you out on Paul's half and answering your questions there.
Good times.
Let's quickly go over some Johnson shout-outs.
Let's
Anyone
save
who
the
may-
Johnsons.
Save them for next
Let's
half?
save them.
All right,
You
let's
gonna
do it.
Johnsons on my half of the show.
Guys, we're going to cut it off here because we're short on time, but don't go anywhere. We're still going to stream to Paul's half on his channel. Go ahead, link in the description. Thank you very much in advance for anyone who does timestamps on my YouTube video. I love you so much. And toss a like on the video. We'll see you in a sec.